Hey yo, it's your boy. Let me get right into this video. This video is going to be about the dangers and the harmful effects of 5G and 5G radiation. Now, for the people who are just going to click on and click off real quick, let me just show you the most important part of this government article, okay? So this says that harmful effects of EMF exposure have already been proven. Over 230, or actually now 252 scientists from 43 nations have expressed their serious concerns regarding the increasing exposure to EMF generated by electric and wireless devices. Blah, 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 blah. Effects include increased cancer risk, cellular stress, increase in harmful free radicals, genetic damages, which is DNA, structural and functional changes of the reproductive system, learning and memory deficits, neurological disorders, and negative impacts on general well-being in humans. Damage goes well beyond the human race, as there is growing evidence of harmful evidence to both plants and animals. So I wanted to let everybody know, just coming straight into this thing, we got a government article here today. We're going to be going into the specific dangers and the list of effects, and also speaking on the corruption of the companies and organizations who are rolling this thing out, because the government, article at least doesn't even want to claim these people who are rolling this stuff out, saying that, calling them a fraudulent and saying other things about them. Okay, so today's video, we're going to be going through this government article and basically going through what they have to say about the 5G rollout and the organizations rolling this stuff out. Also detailing the different effects, and at one point you're gonna see more effects listed out, including things that cause tumors, different effects on the types of people, being animals and babies and pregnant women, things of that nature. So yeah, if you don't, I know a lot of people don't like to read, so I'll read it to you, okay? So we're gonna go through this article, and I've screenshotted basically the most important parts, I believe, of this article, and we're gonna get into it now, okay? So let's go. Radio frequency radiation is the frequency range of 30 kilohertz to 300 gigahertz, which is a large range if you don't know about kilohertz and gigahertz. It's classified as a possible human carcinogen. Down here it's going to say that it's actually classified as a human carcinogen. There's nothing possible about it. It is what it is. And this is from the International Agency for Research on Cancer. So it says, it's talking about this as a microwave radiation. So, microwaves have a door on it to close it to shield you partially from the radiation. A 5G tower is basically a huge microwave that radiates everything, and y'all, they just want some faster internet. Supposedly. Whatever. Let's get into it, okay? One contributing factor is the fact that the majority of countries rely on guidelines formulated by the International Commission of Non-Ionizing Radiation Protection, ICNIRP, a private German non-governmental organization. So like I said, the government not even claiming these people, okay? And they're in cahoots with different scientists who are trying to rebuke this, which you're going to see later, because of money and also because of population control. You're going to see that this is the people who are rolling this out have no care about your fast internet, have no care about your safety, have no care about the nature. They just want money and they want population control. So we're going to get into that all through this article, okay? All they talk about is the heating effects of radiation, how it affects the body temperature, which is also not a good thing, but that's all that they say that this will cause. Okay. The 5G for microwave radiation is about to be implemented worldwide in spite of no comprehensive investigation of the potential risks to human health and the environment. Okay, so let's get to this. In an appeal sent to the EU in September 2017, currently around 260 scientists and medical doctors requested for basically y'all to hold on the deployment of 5G until the health risks associated with this new technology have been fully investigated by industry independent scientists. So they're saying basically y'all need scientists who don't got a horse in a race. Scientists who not making no money, and scientists not in cahoots with the telecom communications companies and organizations basically rolling this stuff out. Basically, they have agendas that they're following, and that's why they're saying we need independent scientists who not with y'all, okay? Now, if you look, unfortunately, or it said these rebuttals been going on for around 2 years. Okay, unfortunately, decision makers seem to be uninformed or even misinformed about the risk. Okay, EU officials rely on the opinions of individuals within the ICN, IRP, and the scientific community, or a committee on emerging and newly identified health risks, most of whom have ties to the industry. So these two organizations who are pushing this stuff are basically fraudulent and have a horse in the race. They're not non-biased people or non-biased scientists. So when you see articles that when you first look up these things and Google say, oh, there's no issue, there's no problems with 5G, it's written by people who have a horse in the race, okay? So they don't have your best interest in have. They want your money, okay? Or not necessarily your money, but they want to make money off of you. Okay, so they seem to dominate evaluating bodies and refute risk. It is important that these circumstances are described in this article, the article that we're getting into from the government website. The warning on the health risks associated with RF presented in the 5G appeal and the letters are summarized. Okay, let's get into it. Over the years, numerous international appeals on RF radiation and health and environment have been published. These seem to have had little or no impact on those proposing limits on radiation and on the deployment on technology. On the contrary, that's me, ambient radiation exposure has increased and is a potential health risk based on the current knowledge of the biological effects of RF radiation. So I want you to know that this radiation coming off of the 5G attacks you spiritually, because that's the electromagnetic frequency. You are an electromagnetic being, you know what I'm saying? So it's not only going through your physical body, but it's also affecting your spirit body. It affects you psychologically, it affects you mentally, physically. It basically affects you on every level negatively, okay? And they know about this information, and this is why when they're presented this information, they act like they didn't even see it, okay? There seems to be an unholy alliance between the telecom industry and certain scientists, organizations, even the WHO. Now, if you know about the WHO or the CDC, they are also along with the fraudulent, so-called fraudulent. This is what the government website saying, not me, YouTube, so don't look at me crazy. This is what they're calling these people fraudulent. So these people who are so-called have the people's best interest at hand are people, or in some politicians, you get what I'm saying, who have a horse in the race. These are people who have hidden agendas. These aren't people who necessarily care about the people. These are people who are more worried about money and more worried about politics and more worried about population control. Just so you know, these are along with the so-called fraudulent people. Now, they haven't called them fraudulent yet, but we'll get there in this article, okay? Now, this is a carcinogen. We already went through this. This is from the cancer research. Now, okay, we say that is the strongest classification, which is the same for asbestos and smoking. Cancer classification seems to have had little or no impact on protecting the public against risks associated with RF exposure. A major hampering factor has been the exposure guidelines by the ICN IRP, based only on the acute and very short-term thermal heating effects of radiation. So all that they say will happen from 5G is body heating, which, like I said, isn't a good thing. Yet they don't want to acknowledge all of the other effects that these scientists appeal and send to them. And basically, they just rebutted and say whatever. We ain't really trying to hear that, because they already know anyways. You know what I'm saying? These guidelines were initially published approximately 20 years ago and were updated in 2009. However, no changes were made to adapt the rapidly increasing evidence of the harmful effects of RF radiation and the exposure from new technologies. Okay? With the support of the WHO and the major telecom companies, has made considerable efforts to convince countries worldwide to follow their guidelines, which sounds like NWO to me, and I don't understand why this is being allowed to happen. You know, I do understand why, but you know, it is ridiculous. Okay, these guidelines excluded a large number of science-based evidence of health hazards from RF radiation. Numerous rebuttals have been sent to the ICNIRP, like I just said. However, it remains unknown as to whether these rebuttals have been taken into account or not. They haven't been. The ICNIRP does not acknowledge the health effects caused by RF radiation, and this has been rebutted by several scientists. Details and proofs of scientific misinterpretation were outlined in a comprehensive response by Dr. Martin Paul. He demonstrated that the denials of scientific facts concerning health risks seem to be the rule of the health risk assessments of the ICNIRP. These people confirmed that Paul's response was received as outlined above in all 8 summarizing statements. These people deny that any scientific reports exist which demonstrate harmful effects. So they lied because they just said they received it and then said it doesn't exist. Okay? These people are lying to you, okay? These fraudulent organizations are lying. And the government don't even want to claim them. Yet they're allowing this to happen. You know, sounds to me like NWO. Just throwing that out there. Okay. Oops. Let's get back to this. Don't want to get too far. Don't want to get too far. What? They're talking about Dr. Paul's demonstration. Okay. It hasn't been. Okay, we right here. Independent peer-reviewed scientific articles have demonstrated the harmful effects even far below the current public safety limits based on the ICNIRP. So even these people, what did it say, 20 years of contradicting evaluations? These people have put safety guidelines, and they go well below they safety guidelines, and they safety guidelines is false anyway. So with that being said, they worse than the worst, okay? These people also seem to have disregarded previously published animal studies on carcinogenesis. So that's to say that, you know, your little dog Spike, your little dog Coco, they going to be affected by this too. It's going to, all the animals, all the plants, all the gardens, everything is finna get hit with this because it is microwave radiation, people. This isn't just internet. It is microwave. So if you want some 5G radiation, 5G microwaves, then you're for 5G. So with that being said, the NTP, what to say? Blah, 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 blah. The guidelines have not yet been published. Let's keep it going. All right. These people claim there is no verified mechanism for RF radiation carcinogenesis in spite of well-designed studies showing the contrary. There I go again. They wanted me to write this. Obviously, they put my name in there more than once. Oxidative stress and DNA damage, like I said before. The ICNIRP claims that the histopathological evaluation was not blinded in these studies. However, this is not true as supported by the methods described in these studies. They claim that the body core temperature was increased, and basically that's it, and suggested to be a factor in increasing cancer risk, although heat is not a known carcinogen. The ICNIRP also claims that the Hardell group found an increased rate for acoustic neuroma, although the Interphone study had similar findings. They did not seem to take into account the concordance between the tumor types, like I said before, found in human epidemiological and animal studies. I tried, okay? These are just a few examples, and then it goes into examples. Now, let's keep going. Scientists and doctors warn of potential severe health effects of 5G. Where are we at? We at 13 minutes. We, the undersigned scientists and doctors, recommend a moratorium, basically saying a pushback on the rollout of the 5th generation of telecommunication until potential hazards for human health and the environment have been fully investigated by scientists independent from the industry. How you gonna have scientists who got a horse in the race giving you all the information about the thing or about the 5G because these people are, you know, benefiting from it? All right, I've said that more than once. I shouldn't have to say it anymore, that these organizations that y'all call credible are against you and don't have your best interest in hand. Now, this is from the government. If I was to say all of this stuff without this being here and telling you that this is a credible source of information, you would say that I'm uncredible. You would say that what we're saying is a conspiracy, and until proven by the people who are doing this to you, you know what I'm saying, recognize it, then you'll believe it. But the problem with that is by the time the people who are doing it to you admit, if they ever admit to it, it will be too late because there's already microwaves by my house, okay? With that being said, I travel and I do delivery, and what I've noticed from my own personal observation is that it seems that these 5G death machines are more prevalent in lower income communities, and when I go into higher income residential areas, I see them nowhere. Wouldn't you think that if this is something that's good for people, something that is faster internet, and that is all, wouldn't the higher income communities get these things first, if not only, you know what I'm saying, before any of the lower income places get it? Sounds to me like a conspiracy. I don't know. Anyways, let's get back into this. Blah blah blah. 5G leads to the marked increase of mandatory exposure to wireless radiation. All right. It's effective only a short distance compared to blah blah blah. That's why they got them stacked up on top of each other. So not only will the radiation be, getting hit from one tower, but they're gonna stack these towers on top of each other because it only goes a short distance. So not only are you getting hit with radiation, you're getting hit with radiation not double, not triple, not quadruple, but probably around quintuple the amount of times. Okay, quintuple. You ain't heard that in a while? Yeah, it's a good word. Check it out. It's a good word to use for this, okay? About the 5 times, if not more, okay? Because this 4G is already bad for you, but 5G, different level, okay? Nobody can avoid to be exposed. So Lil Coco and Lil Spike and all your pets, and because I know a lot of people care about animal life more than human life, it seems. So with that being said, just know your pets might get a tumor, just might be getting brain cancer or heart cancer from this. And if you don't have any pushback, or if you don't share this video around, if enough people don't know about this information and we just allow them to put these microwaves up everywhere, then we will be dealing with serious issues. We as in y'all, because I'm leaving. Babylon is clearly falling, and we clearly need to leave. All right, here. We either need to leave or fight back, and it takes a lot of people to fight back, and a lot of people still calling this a conspiracy, even though this is the government saying this. So it is what it is. Now, from refrigerators, washing machines, cameras, self-driving cars, buses, blah blah blah, everything that uses internet will be a part of this 5G. Further going into us being under a quintuple the amount of radiation. Okay. After the scientist's appeal was written in 2015, additional research has conventionally confirmed serious health risks from RF EMF fields from wireless technology. They've been going back and forth with these people for years and years and years and years and years. Do you think that they don't know the negative effects? Do you really think that? Anyways, let's go. We gotta get into it. All right. This program shows statistically significant increase in the incidence of brain and heart cancer in animals, like I said before, exposed to EMF below the ICNIRP guidelines, followed by most countries. Sounds like NWO to me. These results support results in human epidemiological. Somebody look up that word. Epidemic. That's what that sounds like. Studies on radiation and brain tumor risk. A large number of peer-reviewed scientific reports demonstrate harm to human health from EMFs. Bloop, bloop, bloop. You hear what the scientists have to say. Do I need to go further? Do I need to go further about how this is a risk factor for diseases such as certain cancers, Alzheimer's disease, and male infertility? Just like that vaccine. You can go and take it if you want to. Spell it out if you want to. But, it's going to cause female and male infertility along with all this stuff. They're trying to lower the human population. If you go into the agenda of population control, you will look at and see how many people that they are trying to get off of the earth because of population control. And then you'll realize why this has to be everywhere and why it has to affect so many people, including the vaccine, including the virus, including all of these things. It just sounds like it's crazy that everything is being rolled out at once. It's just very funny to me. I don't really see a conspiracy anymore. if the government is saying it, I mean, I don't know why it takes for them to say it when the power is in the people, but it is what it is. Symptoms include headaches, concentration difficulties, sleep problems, depression, lack of energy, fatigue, and flu-like symptoms. Like I've been saying, like we've all been saying, but it's such a conspiracy. All right, this is my favorite part, flu-like symptoms. So not everybody who is saying that, oh, I think I got the virus, you really could be experiencing these headaches and sleep-like or flu-like symptoms and fatigue and all this stuff. It might just be that that death tower near your house. Who knows? An increasing part of the European population is affected by ill health symptoms that have for many years been linked to the exposure of EMF. So people already been affected by this, and now they're ramping it up even more. Okay, a lot more. Okay. In view of our present scientific knowledge, we thereby stress all national and international bodies and institutions to recognize the EHS and MCS as true medical conditions which, acting as sentinel diseases, may create a major public health concern in years to come worldwide. So when I say is a agenda for human population control worldwide, NWO. What does it sound like to you? I don't know. The WHO and the CDC and the INCIRP, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? You can clearly see. You can clearly see illnesses, harms, caused without heating, radiation levels well below the guidelines. To take all reasonable measures to halt the 5G expansion until independent scientists can assure that the radiation levels will not be harmful for the citizens, especially infants, children, and pregnant women, as well as the environment. To recommend that all EU countries, especially the radiation safety agencies, follow resolution blah 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 to inform citizens, including teachers and physicians, about health risks from EMF radiation, how and why to avoid microwave radiation, particularly near daycare centers, schools, homes, workplaces, and hospitals. It's unavoidable, people. Anywhere you go, your baby, your dog, your children, daycare, schools, homes, workplaces, hospitals. I just had to say that again because man, oh man. Now this is when it says that these people do not represent the scientific evidence of inherent conflicts of interest. Conflict of interest because they have a horse in the race. This is why they don't care. The very commission seems to be ill-informed or misinformed, as the EU seems to take information mainly from these two fraudulent organizations. So I already told you there was fraudulent, telling you right here from this government article. And so, you wanted to call this credible. Well, how more credible does it get when it's coming from the horse's mouth? The EU does not seem to rely on sound science and thereby downplays the risks. Is that all you need to see? Oh yeah, I posted this on my Snapchat, but it's a conspiracy. Y'all don't believe anything till the man say it, so here you go. Government literally admitting 5G dangers and calling the companies fraudulent. Now, with that being said, I don't know what else to say. I need y'all to share this video because it might just, I don't know, inform some people about these dangers. And I don't know, maybe there's some pushback. I don't see that because, a lot of people have been saying this. I'm saying it now. And it seems like the people only care about what the media tell y'all to be mad about. So with that being said, like I said, Babylon is falling. We need to go because the people aren't uniting for the right causes. And I love you all. That's why I put out this video. Please like this video so this can be seen in people's feeds. They don't want people to see this video. So like it so people can see it. I need you to comment down anything, anything, literally. Put a letter. Comment down anything. This video has to be seen. The only way it's going to be seen is through public interaction. And share this video to the public. Share this to your friends. Share this to your mama. Share this to anybody who doesn't understand the risks associated with 5G. And if you want to, I would screenshot this right here because this is the most important part because it breaks down how all of these scientists are against this. These industry independent scientists are against this, and how it's below the national guidelines, and also list out some of the negative effects. With that being said, I love y'all, man. Peace.